Hello, I'm doing great. Getting ready to cast yet another Dorado team in Gamma, so pretty excited to see what they cook up today.
Doing great, man. First time on the cast, kind of hyped to watch my boy Carino smirk this shit up, so cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Ooh. It's interesting, but I think the meta right now is pretty heavily favored towards like Jinx and strong ADC picks. So I think Shen, one of those champs that can affect bot lane, makes sense that he's off the page. Oh, the bans are going by fast. Yeah. Mm. Mhm. Yeah, I'm just surprised that they put such an emphasis on Malphite B1, even though like the PFG bans do kind of indicate, I guess, that they would want to pick Malphite. I'm still surprised because I feel like there's so many picks that would be
Ooh,
good. Yeah, I feel like it's just kind of easy to pick around Malphite if you show him B1.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it could flex very well too. I mean, it's probably going top, but I mean, they have a little bit of wiggle room on their side here. They can flex this Vladimir around, so it's a good pick from their side.
yeah. This is really interesting to me. I suppose they just want to kind of go hard with the engage and maybe have like a Jinx or an Aphelios in the back pocket with the Lulu, but it just seems kind of random a little bit to go Malphite, Jarvan, Lulu. I feel
Yeah.
like this order of these picks kind of seems a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be cool to see the ADC pool. I don't know if they're gonna shrink this thing down, but we might see some the Karma ban.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't see a point in banning Karma. Like, you look at this dog, the Gamma picks so far, and all it's screaming to me is we need damage, and Karma's not one of those champs that I'm looking at when I say we need damage. So if I was PFG, I would be more focused on banning things out like Jinx, like Aphelios, or things in the mid lane that can provide a lot of damage like Victor, which would be a good matchup into Vladimir as well.
I'm
So
surprised on the Scion ban because I'm pretty sure that Red Side's gonna opt to bring this Vladimir top, but we'll see on that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. What do they have cooking, bro? Like, why do they have? I'm definitely not sure.
I, I'm really surprised
Yeah,
the ADC pool was not targeted there. There's Blaine.
wow, they're really just. Yeah, I agree. This was the pick that I was expecting, but I didn't expect them to get because they had two other bans, and I just thought they would ban out the hyper carry ADC that is the most broken right now. So let's.
Yeah.
Mm, oh, the Vayne Tarek.
What? Hold up. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
uh,
I mean, we still realistically don't know where these champions are going to in terms of the solo lanes. Like, nah, I'm looking at the Swain and Vladimir. We'll see what's happening with them.
yeah.
Probably.
I yeah. I think that PFG just kind of wanted to counter the Malphite and Jarvan like a little hard because honestly, this is kind of not the best comp to pick Malphite into. It's like true damage and only AP damage on the others. But there's still Vayne Tarek against Jinx Lulu. I wouldn't say have the best time in lane, and even though it is Vayne, she will shred people. She can't really Q out of Jarvan ulti anymore, so she can't get hit by the Malphite Jarvan combo into Lutz laser and one shot if she's not careful. That being said, I think PFG have like a really good scaling comp, and it's just harder to play out than Gamma's press R and go. Yeah, I'm also interested to see how they make their comp happen. I mean, if they do get the engage off, they can Tarek ult, and Vladimir can potentially just like run past the team or the front line maybe, or if they get good flanks, it's possible. I feel like PFG just had to play off of the angles of Gamma. What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I can kind of see your point with the Vladimir, but the Lulu's definitely going to be able to help the Jinx through that. The Vladimir is going to have to be really fed to deal with this backline in this game, I think. So.
Yeah, I had to agree with that. I think it'll just come down to which side gets snowballing. You know, the Vladimir, the Jinx, and they'll probably determine like a good majority of the game.
I was just gonna say the Vayne wildcard's kind of cool. I like it. They can't really. It's gonna be hard for them to itemize against her based on like the AP heavy, but I think it's still a troll pick. I'm just excited to see it.
Welcome back. We're getting started here on this game one between Dorado Gaming Gamma and Piltover's Finest. I am joined some earlier by Husky Templar and Cody's as my color casters. I will be exclusively on the play-by-play. And Carino could be in trouble here. I know that it's the color casters, but that was gonna be some action. No action because Carino caught them on the rotation, and nothing's gonna happen. It looks like Gamma's gonna invade to get those early game wards in.
Yeah, I was just having a bit of a pause once we got into the game,
Yeah.
but alright, think I'm good now. I'm at 53.
Yeah, should just go live and you'll be fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so what are you guys' thoughts? I mean, that looking at the jungle pathing, what do you guys think? What do you think both teams should do early on to kind of get their team ahead?
I
Well,
mean, yeah,
you can go.
I was just gonna say, like, Draven's obviously gonna be. I mean, both junglers are gonna be looking to make shit happen early. So, I mean, probably, I would say the lane to path for. I think that. I mean, they're probably gonna play for bot. Obviously, I think Vayne's pretty vulnerable, so I think both junglers are gonna play for bot lane. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I would think that both junglers would want to play for bot lane or even mid lane maybe, but I feel like bot lane is going to be where the action's at, and ganking the Malphite and Vladimir lane seems kinda useless. So, Candy starting on the blue side to path towards that Vayne and, try to get their Jinx ahead, but Volibear doing the opposite and starting on the blue side, and it seems like he's full clearing up to the top side. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they're pathing towards top. I mean, I'm kind of confused by that because I don't think it's. I think both lanes are pretty safe in top lane. I think Malphite and Vladimir are pretty safe up there. So it's interesting to see what his next move is.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very low chance of killing Malphite, even if you do get the Volibear Q off, I feel like Vladimir at level 3 is not doing enough damage to kill the Malphite, even if, he's got that AP advantage against Malphite. So maybe he's just gonna full clear and just take a base and not really look to gank, but just to like kind of out farm the Jarvan while Jarvan tries to make for early plays. And it seems like Jarvan's might be looking for something right now in the mid lane.
Jarvan's looking for a gank from bot side here. I mean, no vision, so Wave's not in a great spot though to kill here. So
Yeah, it'll be a little tricky to get that kill start to cut you off, but it looks like we might get some plays in both mid and top. Never mind. It looks like the Volibear is going for an invade or something. I'm not really sure what he's going for, but it looks like they're going to go in the mid lane. Let's see if the camera's going to take us over. And now it looks like the swing's just going to walk out. Actually, they're going to jump on him. They get the knockup. He flashes, but he misses the flash. I think he will go down. The kill goes over to Sluter. And big play. Not only do they get the kill, no summoners expended from the side of Gamma while burning the flash of the Swain, while the Volibear was kind of just wasting his time in Candy's jungle, not really achieving anything.
I'm really confused about Volibear's positioning there because I mean, I would assume that he just want to take the grab there, so he'd be hovering around mid, but he just walked into their top side with no camps up, and his mid got killed for it. It's a bit unfortunate on the red side there.
Yeah.
Oh, Karina having to waste flash.
Yeah, he had to flash out, but it wasn't for nothing. He got the flash of the Taric out, and that's gonna make him all the less deadly in this lane phase.
Yeah, no, those flashes are, I feel like, very crucial in the bot lane because, this Jarvan's definitely going to be looking down there, and same with this Volibear to, make some plays happen. So we'll see if that comes into play later on. But it was like a really bad positioning from Volibear, but I guess he was going for a ward in the top side to just make sure that Jarvan wasn't up there and to protect his Vladimir. But I think even if the Jarvan wanted to gank top, I'm pretty sure the Vladimir should have an easy time just hitting the pool and kind of walking out of it. So kind of a waste of time, but it results in Gamma getting a free kill mid.
I mean, top matchup's going as I kind of expected. They're just trading blows. Nothing's really going to happen up there. I'm more surprised. Carino just based about 15 CS up at 5 minutes. I'm pretty Pretty,
it looks like we might get a fight
aggressive
around
there.
Dragon Sluter getting some damage onto the Swain, making him probably unable to join this fight. But the fight's coming in. Candy goes in, he steals the dragon, and this fight's going pretty poorly so far for PFG. Where Candy's gonna have to try to flash out. He does have flash, he holds it a little long, but Sluter gets the first move because he had the health. Everybody's out, nobody's dead just yet. Carino is in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't have flash. He pops the ghost, they're trying to turn onto the Vayne. Vayne flashes out, but will she go down? Will she go down? Will Jinx take her down? Jinx does not manage to take down Vayne, but it doesn't matter. They managed to pick up 2 more kills. They're still trying to look for the Vayne. Will Sluter flash over? Sluter has no flash, and I think that's it for the fight. But it's a 2-for-1 and a dragon for the side of Gamma. Wow, what a fight.
Yeah, really close. A lot of flashes coming out. I think everybody had spent a flash if they were. Oh,
What is Vasting doing? He needs to track the Vladimir pool cooldown before ulting in like that. That was a bit crazy from Vasting.
Yeah, it was ambitious, but I will say he got the ghost and ult out in return. So, you know, not that big of a deal. He could have been better, like you said, but it's you know, not completely horrible in my book.
yeah. I think they can have their fun in the top lane. Let's be honest. Do we really care? Does anybody really care about them? No. He's probably not going to use that ability for the next good 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So he's just practicing it, warming it up for when he does have to use it. And now he knows not to use it when
And it looks
Vladimir
like
has
Carino
pull
could
up.
be in a little bit of trouble. Griffin makes sure that he gets the speed up on him, but the flash is there on the volley bear, and I don't think Carino will live here. The stun comes out, double stun the slow, and the volley bear manages to pick up the kill. I think that's probably
Better on the
okay
Vayne,
result,
yeah.
Better than getting it on the Vayne, but Carino playing a little ahead when they know, doesn't have any flash or ghost or wards. A little greedy from him, but still ahead 13 seconds, so not too bad.
Yeah, he probably assumed they were safe without the Taric flash, but the Taric's range, the extended range thing, and then he just put the stun on the volley bear, makes it pretty easy and pretty hard for Jinx to escape without sums.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but Carino still does have a CS lead. I think this is kind of how the lane should go. Vayne kind of just gets shoved in by Jinx, Lulu, especially with Taric, and they can't really do anything until the jungler comes. Which, the jungler did a good job of ganking at an opportune time. I feel like they should have a lot more vision in the bot side. Just think that if I was the Jarvan and the playing for this Jinx, I would be thinking, oh, I need to get wards down so something like this doesn't happen, especially when your Jinx has no sums. It's pretty important to cover bot lane when they have no summoners and you're playing towards them.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because Sluter's got this huge lead in mid lane, so I'm expecting that they will be getting some timers here from mid. Hopefully that Jarvan and Lux can maybe coordinate some plays to try and stabilize this bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. I think the goal that Gamma should have is definitely to start moving Sluter down to the bot lane to really get the lead onto Jax. But it looks like we might get a fight up top. It looks like Candy was just clearing out some wards, but Basting holding his own, not really having any problem with CS. In a matchup that should be on paper bad for him, he's gonna get first move for this potential fight right now. Oh my god, and the big damage, but he manages to survive just barely. One more auto attack, and that Swain would have died.
Swain's no teleport.
Oh,
so
and
he's
the big
gonna
flash
burst
onto
on
Red
one.
Candy. This is going to be a big fight, but they jump onto the Swain. Swain sticking around just a little too long. Basting is here on the volley bear. Will volley bear able to get away? Volley bear does have to ult out. The slow is on the Vlad. Vlad does drop his ult, but he is getting chased down pretty hard. He does pull, but it doesn't matter. Basting is going to stop chasing, and the Vlad walks away with his life, if with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
huge
really.
chunk from Sluter. He just killed him over the wall pretty much, and he couldn't enter. He had ulti the Swain, but I mean, he didn't have enough HP to enter. So I mean, they lost a huge team fight tool in the Swain. So a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was really questionable for them to fight after they saw Swain get chunked to 100 HP, and they do have Vladimir in the top lane, he might be in an advantageous matchup, but that's kind of because he can free farm, and he still doesn't do the most damage right now. So it's really weird choice, I think, for them to even attempt to fight this in the top side.
Yeah, I mean, Basting did a really good job in manipulating his wave ahead of the fight. I know they had been really trying to get their timings down really well to make sure that plays like this would happen where they both had priority. So both solo laners did a good job in pushing the wave and forcing their opposing solo laners to kind of take an awkward path, which resulted in what you guys mentioned the Swain kind of getting cut out there. Ooh, but Dragon going on here, but are we gonna get a fight? Jarvan is here. Everybody's here. There's no TP, but the Jarvan does jump in. It doesn't manage to steal it, but either way, it doesn't matter. It looks like it's gonna be a disaster fight for the side of PFG. Rare Candy with the big ult, and it doesn't matter. The Swain is trying to do everything he can to save them, but I think he will go down as well. Big plays, Carino just unstoppable. Can't touch him, and he's just it's just going from bad to worse in PFG.
Oh yeah, that's Carito just picking up. I think two kills right there, and a red buff. So and Sluter already 5-0 with his mythic finished, so he's already a massive member of Gamma right now. And I feel like this game is going exactly how Gamma wants it. They have their kills on their carries. They are getting the objectives, even though Dragon wasn't secured there. They still have one Dragon, and they have the Rift Herald as well if they wanted to drop that to get some plates.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that PFG had done a pretty decent job of trying to shut down the Jinx, but it just wasn't enough. Gamba did a really good job to get her Jinx back into the game, and I mean now she's kind of a powerhouse. She has her Kraken Slayer, and I'm not sure this game's gonna get a lot more fun for PFG.
Yeah. I mean, interesting randomization from Slitter and Leanders. It's not like common, but I mean, I think it gets a lot of value in this game, so I think that's a good plan as for I mean, top lane, we got a little bit of a CS advantage, but I mean, I don't think the Vladimir is going to be able to carry from the spot.
Basting could be in a little bit of trouble here. He does ult out, and nothing's really going to happen. He gets the ghost in exchange for his ult, and I've got to say, when you're getting ganked and that's what you trade, that's probably going to be happy.
I mean,
yeah, I think that's kind of what we expect from a top lane gank. You either Malphite ulti out or you're gonna pull out. So there's not there's not much sorry, there's not much of a threat for either of them up there. And I think Basting's doing pretty happy with how he's doing considering the lane so far.
Yeah, I mean, he got counterpicked. He does have weak side. Basting does have to flash out. He's going to get stunned. He might go down here. He slowed the ult. It comes down on him, and he's going to get dove. I think he will finally go down. Will he take the Volibear down with him? Volibear goes down, and it's a 1-for-1 for Basting. Basting actually doing a pretty good job there. He gets flash for flash and a kill for a kill. That's, again, for a weak side top, you can't really be too upset with that.
Yeah, absolutely not. Basting, sorry, but I think Volibear did have ulti, but I think, oh wow.
Oh, and they try to engage onto Alex Carino, but is it gonna work out? They get stunned there. They're gonna force the ult out of the the Taric, and Taric's forced to flash out and burn his own ult in exchange. And what they thought was, them getting the drop onto Alex Carino turned out to be a pretty big mistake.
Sure, Candy's going in for more.
Yeah, Candy just zoning them off there. I'm a little. Oh no, Jinx doesn't have ult. That explains it. Didn't see him use it, I guess.
While Volley was kind of suiciding the top lane, they got 2 towers with the Rift Herald in the bot lane before 14 minutes. And all that gold kind of went on to the Jinx, so she is very accelerated right now. She is so fed. She has an insane amount of gold, and Sluter also got a solo kill on the Swain, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, both your bot turrets gone, and that's your R5 pick in bot lane, so it feels really bad for red side. I mean, that's like probably the pivotal point of the draft where their highest value pick is down 2 turrets at 14 minutes. Can't be too good for you. I mean, most lanes are struggling. I mean, Vladimir's obviously ahead. It's a pretty good matchup for him, but Saluter doing his thing, got gifted 3 kills early, so I mean, this game is looking really rough for red side.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, Gamma has a really good idea of what their opponent's trying to do. Sluter could be in trouble here. Might have to flash. He's going to get jumped on, and he does flash out of the way, but I don't think he's going to survive this, but with the fight's going to switch over to the river. He does manage to get away. Rare Candy does come around, but the Swain still has his ult up. You don't want to fight him just yet. Basting not too scared of the Volibear. Volibear taking a lot more damage than Basting is. Basting just really losing his shield, and Gamma's going to take control of the river ahead of this Rift Herald that's coming up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say the gank on mid there. I think Vayne had an angle to condemn the Lux. It was a bit unfortunate. Maybe the cooldown was down, but I'm pretty sure they could have got more there. It's been unfortunate.
Yeah, she didn't have flash, but she did have cleanse, even if she got hit by bind. So it would have been a nice shutdown. I think, you know, even if they had to trade 2-for-1 for it, I would still have been pretty worth to go for it. But it was a nice look. Unfortunately, they don't get anything out of
And
it.
it looks like, you know, Piltover's finest are going for the dragon for the third time. Every single time they've gone for the dragon, it's been a disaster block. But it looks like Basting jumps onto the Vayne, and Vayne just can't play the game. Basting doesn't stay off the Vayne, and Vayne is out of the fight. Basting has created the space that he needs, and this is why we were talking about we didn't really like the Vayne pick here. What is she ever going to do against this Malphite?
Yeah, I don't see a way this Vayne. I mean, she doesn't even have one item yet. She's not doing damage to anyone, much less surviving. That Malphite pressed a single man ulti onto the Vayne, and she was just, you know, kind of just standing there being useless while Vladimir flashes onto Sluter.
Yeah, I was gonna say also the red team wanted to contest the dragon, but Tarek refused to click R in that fight, so I'm really surprised why they went for that. This kill for
Vlad going in on the Jinx for the Swain dives, making sure that Bird Candy doesn't get the backup that he probably needs. And are we going to see a turnaround right here? Never mind, Sluter's still alive. The shields are way too big, and he's going to get away. And it looks like Swain's now the one in trouble. They thought they made the pick, but Swain's trying to run away to her. Tarek is still, you know, managing to keep him alive, but I think Tarek will go down for his efforts. And what seems, you know, what keeps seeming like positive plays for PFG are just ending up to be disasters for them.
Yeah, I think they're just way too far behind in gold as to where these plays that if they were even gold maybe would be possible.
Yeah.
Just is just so hard for them right now just because of how far behind they are. And this Lutz just keeps being kind of the beneficiary of these bad plays, just getting free kills upon free kills. Vladimir did get a nice shutdown onto Jinx there, so maybe he can do something with that. As we said, that kind of is their only win con right now. Oh, Basting may have found a free Vayne on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this poor Vayne just can't play the game. But I mean, it's not like you picked Vayne early, and even if you did, you deserve this. But it's even worse. I don't know what's worse, if you know, R1ing or R5ing a Vayne is worse. Honestly, I don't think that no, I've got to say this Vayne probably deserved this treatment that she's getting.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they made her life any easier with the Tarek pick. It just makes lane that much harder, to be honest. Double two short-ranged people into Lulu Jinx, you know, you're just asking to get a beating.
Yeah, and then just to kind of show how little Basting cares about Vayne, you know, he's looking like he's gonna build a force of nature. He's not really building anything for the Vayne. Doesn't really care about her. It's just not really too worried about his about the enemy ADC.
Yeah, I was gonna say in draft, like, they're gonna have a hard time itemizing for Vayne, but, like, I mean, at this point of the game, like, you're not even thinking about her, right? Like, Vladimir's the only champion really on their side, but even then, like, Lulu's just gonna provide too much protection. Like, Vlad's gonna try and go, I think he's itemizing towards, I think there's Shadow Flame?
Yeah,
which
looks
is,
like Shadow Flame.
Fine for Lulu, but I mean, I still don't think he'll have enough damage. It's a bit unfortunate. It's like Vayne's just
and I
dead.
mean, Basting just 1v2ing this poor Vayne, can't play the game. Basting just doesn't care, and this Vlad is going to suffer a similar fate. The only member of the enemy team that was doing maybe even remotely well. Basting will go down for his efforts, but every moment that he keeps down the Vayne from playing is a moment that Gamma's going to push him back even further. And Rare Katie just has him in his zone. This poor Swain and Terry just can't play the game. And this game is just a stomp. Gamma is absolutely running over the map. There's nothing that Piltover's finest can do to stop this onslaught.
Oh yeah, this game is all but over. I mean, they might be able to take this Shelly to Nexus Towers at this point.
We have the timer for fastest time, and what is this, Victorious?
Like, I mean, it's probably not going to be 20 minutes, but definitely I would say that 20-minute games are not super common. It doesn't look like they're going to get to end. The respawns for Piltover's finest do come up, and they're going to walk away.
Dirty Vlad, I'm sorry, Dirty Volley had to smite down the Shelly, so we don't get to see it. But
we don't get to see him dancing. But it looks like Volley still thinks this is his jungle, kind of walking in with impunity. But I'm sorry to tell you, Volley, but this is not your jungle anymore.
Yeah. they're just gonna get complete vision control topside and Baron spawn now. So I mean, their fate is kind of sealed for red side here. I mean, they're looking for a coin flip fight here.
Oh,
8 Malphite ults. Oh my god. Vladimir's actually really deep in the backline with ulti, so it's not enough.
And you know, this is something that you guys talked about earlier in the match. I mean, not earlier, when we were drafting, about how the Vlad could be, you know, a real menace in the backline. And I think we saw a glimpse of that. I mean, obviously, he only took down the Lulu, but I think that if the game had gone, you know, a little differently, you know, a certain way in their favor, we could have definitely seen this Vlad be a real menace to the backline. But unfortunately for him, base team did a really good job of neutralizing him, and you know, the rest of his team did not do a good job in general.
yeah, that's a little unfortunate. You know, one of those solo queue specials when you know, you're just farming up there in the top lane as Vladimir, and then you look to your bot lane. They're down 50 CS, 40 CS, 0-7, 2 sits mid, 2-5 jungle, and you're like, guess I just got gapped. You know, there's just nothing you can do about it.
Just looks like it's going to be impossible to enter near the dragon here. They're not even going to try. They can't get near the Lux. Free dragon, not soul yet, but I mean, they're probably just going to transition to Baron soon, so it's pretty good for Gamma.
Yeah, I mean, Red Candy's going ahead and getting that free Earth Drake. Earth Drakes that are not going to make this game any easier for the side of Piltover's finest. If you thought that the Malphite and Jarvan were unkillable before, just wait until they have all those bonuses and extra shields.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think the Vladimir has maybe one target, and it's going to be the Lulu that he's going to kill, but the rest of his team are not going to be able to do damage before they get bursted.
Yeah, Vayne's looking towards her Rage Blade here. She's trying to get 2 items. I think Karina's about to get 3 items, so this is really...
Yeah, Karina's really... Yeah, really close to the PD. Interesting build path. He went Kraken, I think, into Zeal, and then just went Giant Slayer right after that.
Yeah.
No
See,
IE.
He felt the value of the you know, the Giant Slayer aspect of it. Really would kick in into the top half of Piltover's finest, but it's gonna be a free Baron again.
I mean, whenever Karina's like doing builds or whatever, like I don't doubt it. This guy's in the practice school 24/7 doing DPS checks, so I'm gonna trust him on this one.
That's a good point. Whenever I have questions, I do usually fall back to my boy Carino about build paths, and you know, just he's always on point with that.
I mean, Baron Siege here. I mean, basically zoning the entire team 1v5.
Volley kind of just sitting in the bot lane, and I feel like they could just end the game here if he decided not to base.
He's channeling base now. I mean, we're getting the stop wave in. Lux is just going to be able to throw free spells for fun. Like, they cannot play the game here.
Yeah.
Vladimir's Vladimir's trying to dive onto the backline. They're really trying to get onto the Jinx, but they can't get onto Karina. Karina's just free hitting, dropping free damage. Candy drops that big ult, and Karina just wiping them out. They're trying to get onto the Jinx, but Jinx is just untouchable. Moving around, the Vayne is trying to do everything she can, but she can't do anything. It's going to be a pentakill. Alex Carino with the pentakill, I think.
It's a quadra. He got stolen.
Oh, he got stolen
by Lulu.
Wait, was it the last kill? Was it the last kill?
Yeah, it was Tari.
Oh, hell no, man.
No, we're gonna have to.
That's a report
for that one.
Oh,
that's a report.
Violated, man.
Yeah, but Carino just kind of showing his skill right there at the end. He knew that all 5 of the enemy team was coming for him. He hit that ghost, he hit that flash, and he kited them perfectly to get that almost pentakill.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much a pentakill, but he did great. He was flashing, moving, ghosting around like he needed to, and the front line, you know, the divers on the side of Piltover's finest just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, Carino got a lot of the spotlight at the end for the stolen penta, but I mean, huge performance from Sluter. I mean, like, I know this guy's like the Lee Sin mid, but I mean, he showed up on the Lux. I was really surprised that he picked it, and he had a great game, so shout out to Sluter.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like I have a little bug, but really quick before we go, I mean, I think you guys are both ready. It was really a big effort from the solo
Single kill
lane.
from that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Big solo effort. I mean, Sluter having a commanding lead, Basting holding his own against getting ganked with a counter pick, and kind of uh, biting the bullet for his team, be winning that mouth fight, and it paid off. It really let Alex come back after that 0-2 start to really take over the game. But for now, we're gonna go on a short break while we get ready to draft, and we'll see you all soon. And it looks like we're about to get started on this draft. I will let Cody's and Husky walk y'all through this draft this time around. No side changes. Gamma did just come off a very dominant game 1 in their favor, and now they're looking to make it a quick 2-0 for Dorado Gaming.
Yeah, and I would expect the same bans probably coming out of Gamma, but this time PFG opting for the Malphite ban. I suppose they were too terrified of Basting's Malphite in the last game, and they said, no, we need to take this out, and I'll be curious to see if they ban the Silas or the Cho'Gath and see, which ban they drop this time around.
I mean, they had to... I mean, Malphite's just a really good champion. Like, it's just simple champion. Like, wins team fights. I mean, it's a good weak side pick. So, I mean, I think that taking it's a safe bet here. I mean, they take the Silas too, which is a good pick as well. I mean, champion's just really good, and it denies a lot of wombo ults or like really good ultis. So, I mean, it takes a lot of pressure off when Silas is out when drafting. So.
Yeah, Gamma going for the Wukong first pick, and I feel like I've seen this being first picked quite a lot, like recently. I think it's a pretty strong pick. It makes sense. I think the other picks that I've seen, both against it, and I've seen Wukong pick it as an answer is like Jarvan. So Wukong and Jarvan, it seems, are favored by a lot of teams as a early jungle pick.
Yeah, I mean, it has pretty good early game, and also, I mean, it falls off doesn't fall off as hard as something like Jarvan, because the team fight from Wukong is just crazy. So I mean, just super strong champion. They were strong with Volibear. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed to see that. I mean, it didn't do a lot last game. I mean, he looked a little lost on the Volibear. Didn't have a lot of impact. They didn't really execute any dives, so kind of disappointed to see the Volibear back.
Yeah, I gotta say the Volibear didn't really have like great setup last game, I suppose, because they didn't exactly have any winning lanes, and he's not gonna be able to set up with the Vladimir top lane or a Swain mid too well. So hopefully this time around his team picks more tools for him to be able to play around, and hopefully the lanes don't get rolled as hard, so that he's able to come in with that level 6 and get some dives off. But PFG picking Kai'Sa and Gamma responding with Aphelios Lulu.
Yeah, Karina's trying to get a legacy game here on the Aphelios. Shout out Joker for that penta. I mean, I like the Aphelios champ. I think Karina can do some cool things, so I'm excited to see it. I mean, definitely super entertaining champion to watch, so it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He is one of my favorite champs to play right now, and I think he's a lot of 1v9 carry potential in the meta. And Kai'Sa Rakan, I think this is a pretty fun matchup, to be honest. I feel like both lanes can kind of fight it out. Rakan, Kai'Sa do have kill potential, and Aphelios Lulu can also fight early against them. So I'll be curious to see. I think once again, these bot lanes kind of want to be the focus of the game. So I'm interested to see what both teams kind of round out their team comps with. Will they pick like a heavy tank in the top lane again, or will they opt for something a bit more risky, maybe like a Fiora or Duelist top lane? What do you think?
We got Sluter eating the Lux fan. That's kind of entertaining. I mean, he had a great game on it. So I mean, I don't think he's a champion that he would prioritize, but I mean, I think that's really good for Gamma that they kind of eat a ban. I mean, Orange just a safe ban. I feel like they aren't trying to play through top, so I mean, pretty good ban from Red side. I think the bot lane's going to be the focus again. So
yeah, BFG going with the safe pick on Ziggs, and Akali responds. So he said, yeah, I played the Lutz game 1, but it's time to pull out what I want to enjoy, and he just pulls out the Akalis right after a Lutz game.
I mean, again, the problem with Ziggs is, I mean, he wants to like pressure and try and like take towers early, but I mean, if Waves pass half versus Akali, it's going to be really hard for Six to play the game. Akali obviously has a lot of solo kill potential at level 6, so excited to see that mid lane matchup. I think that Sutter will be able to abuse the 6. Cho'Gath locked as well. I mean, another just broken weak side tank. I mean, obviously it's blind, or it's B5 here, but I mean, again, super strong champion. You can flex it multiple roles. They're locking Jace, which like I don't know if that's a super good response to Cho'Gath. I think he can stone wall this lane. Weird.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to give my thoughts now on the comps. You know, that we walked through them. Like, yeah, I think mainly because I saw this Cho'Gath and Jace. I don't know if, like you said, I don't know if Jace is really the response you want to take into Cho'Gath. I know that at least when I played a lot more, I know that Jace has had some buffs and he's a little bit stronger now. But when I played, top a lot more and I was a lot more active, that this was not really a matchup that Jace liked. Cho'Gath has such great sustain. And once he gets tanky, I mean, Jace likes having lethality, bursty damage, but he's not exactly a tank buster. Cho'Gath can, he can survive the early game harass through his passive, through second wind, through D-shield, and then eventually he'll get to a point where Jace just can't do enough damage to break through the 5,000 HP and 2 items that Cho'Gath gets for being Cho'Gath. So it'll be a pretty interesting matchup at the top. Like you said, an extremely broken weak side champion, and I think one that Basing is more than happy to blind to get his ADC Carino ahead.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the R5 Jace pick as well. I feel like it's not really a good pick into either solo lanes, like Akali or Cho'Gath. So I feel like later on, this Jace is going to struggle in the side lane if he does. Yeah, I mean, he has good wave clear, so they probably just wanted to kind of outrange the Philios Lulu, which is one of their, soft counters, just kind of outranging with things like Jace Ziggs. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this top lane matchup goes this time around.
Yeah, I thought something like a Gwen or maybe a Fiora would be better versus Cho'Gath, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, the thing with Jace is like, I mean, you're ideally want to win lane super hard, but I mean, you do have like okay scaling. I mean, your poke's nice, but I think that especially since they just want to leave the Cho'Gath alone, I think that like maybe something that could pressure him inside lane better would be optimal for red, but the draft's over. What can we do?
Like a Camille or a Gwen or something that's traditionally just more in a position to threaten the side of Cho'Gath. I mean, it's just such a rough lane, like you said. How is Jace ever supposed to match on the side against this team? And I think it'd be pretty hard for the Jace to find himself matching the Kali or the Mauk or the Cho'Gath. But we'll have to see how it plays out. Do either of you have any final thoughts on the comp before we go on break?
No, I think Gamma kind of picking similar to Lee, kind of a little bit similar to what they had last game, and PFG kind of somewhat similar maybe in their minds, but I think Gamma overall has a better straightforward comp once again.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games again where I think that both solo lanes I think don't have great matchups for red side, so I think it's just going to be another game where they can send a lot of resources down the bot lane, and again, Karina's like really talented player, and I mean, if you feed resources to him, he's going to carry the game, especially when you have two lanes that can be definitely self-sufficient in this comp. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, I think you guys make very good points, and we'll have to see how they play it out. BFG picking a little bit easier to execute comp, but I still do think like the burden of execution is going to be on them again. Whereas Gamma has picked a very standard comp, not really taking too many risks, and really, allowing them to express their skills without having to worry about how to navigate a tricky comp. This was Game 2 draft of Dorado Gaming Gamma versus Piltover's Finest. We will see you all soon after this break. Welcome back to Getting Started here on this Game 2 between Dorado Gaming Gamma and Piltover's Finest. Once again, I am joined by Mr. Cody's and Husky Templar as my co-color casters for today. If you guys are just tuning in, Gamma's coming off really dominant Game 1 performance against Piltover's Finest. And, they've drafted a similar comp, and I'm interested in seeing how they're going to approach this game.
Yeah, I'm also interested in seeing how PFG kind of adjusts maybe this game, to maybe they'll respect Gamma's early game a little bit more and just try to play for towers instead of trying to take these dragon fights that kind of always seem to end with them kind of losing 4 people and not getting the objective. So hopefully they change something for this game.
Yeah, I'm hoping that again, I think it's gonna be bot centric again, but hoping that red side just tries to deny the they're obviously gonna play for bot lane. Hopefully the Volibear will respect that and try and like play for maybe counter ganks and deny the Wukong just early game plays that can just get Carino rolling. So.
Yeah, it'll definitely be another play for Carino game, but I do think that this time everybody but Basting has a little more agency. Even Basting has more agency, if I'm being honest. Cho'Gath is definitely will do a lot more damage if he doesn't have the big giant knockup ult that Malphite has. So everybody on Gamma is a bit more of a threat this time around, while Alex Carino's probably just as deadly as he's always been.
Yep. Yeah. I'm really interested to see this Jace. I'm hoping that he can put in the work that he expected to picking this. But yeah, again, I'm super worried that Cho'Gath's just gonna free scale into the late game and just deny him like anything he wants to do. I mean, I think Sluter definitely has a super good matchup mid. I mean, Akali just preys on these low mobility mages, so hoping that they can either like play to get the Ziggs or just killed immediately, or like I mean on 6 he's just gonna have solo kill pressure all the time. So you can also move around the map and try and make plays as well.
And Volibear going for the early gank in the bot lane.
Trying to get on Griffin. Griffin has to flash out. Are they going to try to get Jinx's flashes? Oh no, not Jinx's abilities. Oh, but no. They rightfully go onto the Lulu. Lulu is pretty low here. She is going to go down. And the gank pays off. But Red Candy is here to answer. Carino is not done just yet. Carino is going to root down the Volibear knowing that he doesn't have flash. And Volibear will surely go down here. Surely that, you know, that gank 1-for-1, not bad for the side of Gamma. You know, obviously they have the first blood over on the other side, but it's okay. It looks like the Zig's already feeling the pressure from Looters Akali. We didn't get to see that happen because of the action happening in the bot lane. But oh, Basting making some action happen up top lane, showing that he is also a threat. And oh yeah, forces the Jace to knock him away and asserting his dominance. He's gonna be able to get to full health in about a wave and a half. So Jace is not gonna have a good time here.
This is not what you want to see from your Jace pick, just getting clapped around by this Cho'Gath. I mean, Ziggs also had to base early, and I mean, Slitter had his wave in a good spot. Ziggs doesn't opt to TPs. I don't know where he's pathing. He looked like he wanted to path towards bot side. He's walking back mid now. I think he's a little lost.
Yeah, I think they're a bit scared of Rare Candy maybe invading with the bot lane being so low HP, but I feel like Carino once again like off to a pretty good start. He's got red buff, and you know, Basting is also pretty happy in his lane as usual. Oh, as Rare Candy goes for an invade, like I said.
And it looks like they're gonna go and punish the Volibear for that kind of you know, wild little gank he did. They're definitely not letting him get away. Rare Candy might go down here as well. Never mind. He's just too tanky and they get the blue. And Volibear has been severely punished for his gank so far, which is exactly what you want to do when you know, when a jungler makes such a big commitment like that. When they're in a weak spot, you want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think that comes from from that gank. You're absolutely right, but also the aftermath where Carino kind of just got to chunk out the bottom lane of PFG, and you know, since they knew that the Kaisa was basing, they kind of just got to walk into the jungle for free and take the blue buff and another kill onto this Volibear. So yeah, definitely paying for his early gank. Carino.
Yeah, it looks like. Sorry, it looks like Philios is opting towards the. I think this is Bloodthirster, right? Rush. Yeah. I mean, I think it's nerfed on this patch, so I don't know if it's how the nerfs affected it, but I mean, it's definitely.
Yeah, it's just a smaller shield in the early and late game, but I still think it's a pretty good item because it just feels really good in the early game. Whenever you have skirmishes, you don't really have to. Where you would normally be forced to base, you don't really have to. You can just go lifesteal off of a camp or minions, and you could stay. It lets you stay in lane a lot longer, I'd say. And you could also go BT into IE rush, which feels pretty good, even if you are down a mythic.
So they're just looking for the solo here. I mean, I think Ziggs has no flash. He's just yeah.
Ziggs just kind of getting viciously backshot by this Looter, and it looks like Basting is going to be in trouble. He's gonna walk away here, but he's gonna take some damage, and actually, you know, dealing some good damage on the way back. Not really. And I think that's just pretty much been the story of the series. And they're gonna try to engage onto Karina, dropping the ignite, but Karina's not really too worried. Karina just backs off, and the ignite is burned, and it's not really gonna have any consequence against the side of Gamma.
Yeah, he does have red white as well right now. You know, there's a saying, red white don't fight. It's for a reason, because that champion with those guns can melt through you faster than you would expect. I think right now Gamma does have a pretty good hold of the game. You know, I feel like once they get a lead, this mid lane and this bot lane kind of just plays themselves. You know, the champions kind of just play themselves. They kind of you kind of just press buttons and they'll win you the game.
Yeah, I mean. Both junglers path early towards bot, and it looked like they got like Kaisa and Aphelios trade killed, but I mean, Green's just accumulating these like huge CS leads just out of thin air. So I mean, it's gonna make it really hard to play for red side, just because Aphelios can just kind of just. I mean, I don't know. He's definitely. I think he's on the he outscales Kaisa, so I mean, him just accumulating a 20 CS lead at 7 minutes is going to be super hard to play for it.
And it looks like Sluter really putting the pressure. They might be going for the kill, but nothing's gonna happen. It looks like he's gonna go for it. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna drop some harass, and he's gonna come out on the winning end of that trade, despite the tower shot. And Basting doing Cho'Gath things, 10 CS lead despite getting counter picked, quote unquote counter picked. Despite blinding, because he didn't get counter picked.
Yeah. This is I think it just kind of goes to show maybe the Jace like hasn't played the matchup, or he just assumed that it would be winning since it's a range versus melee, but it's definitely not looking too favorable for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, the map is just looking pretty miserable all around for Piltover's finding. Neither of the side lanes are having a very good time. Ziggs is enjoying, having some decent CS, given the fact that he's Ziggs, but we're seeing a fight in the bot lane. Karino could be in trouble, does have to go, doesn't have flash, and I think he will go down. There's no way he survives this, and Slippery Jalapeno manages to snipe the kill and, puts him a little bit back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good play from Bolivar. Like, I mean, Wukong crossed through mid, and they knew he was going to Heralds. I mean, looking for a trade play, considering that I don't think that they want to skirmish for Sakali on that Herald. Yeah, just trading bot side and trying to deny Karina, like, was a good play from Red, for sure.
Yeah, Griffin kind of in a dangerous spot right now with the volley bear in the jungle up, but he does get to just blast cone over, or just flash over it.
Yeah, I think we are a little bit unsynced. Let me see what time I'm at, if I can speed this up to make sure we're both live. Okay, I'm at 9:36. Here at Candy up top, and it looks like they're trying to get on. Unfortunately, base interrupter does miss, which prevents the dive going off on the Jace. Jace trying to clear the wave, trying to prevent this dive, but ultimately it looks like Rare Candy just kind of showed up to crash the wave to allow his top laner to reset.
Yeah, maybe they would have looked for a dive, but it looked like Basting had no mana for ulti, so it would have been a little difficult to pull off. And I think that PFG, unlike last time where they opted for the fight and for the Herald and ended up losing, this time they instead decided to punish the solo ADC in the bot lane, and they get a flash out of Lulu. So these are things that they could potentially punish. It kind of shores up the CS advantage that Karina has been quietly building. He's still up 22 CS, so he's basically even in gold instead of being behind the 2-kill Kaisa. But there's still things that PFG can try to punish in the bot side.
Jace picks up Eclipse here. I mean, good for him, but I mean, again, I don't think he's gonna get through this Cho'Gath. I mean, I think Cho'Gath's going, what is this, Heartsteel?
Yeah, I think he's gonna go Heartsteel, and I think, like you guys are saying, it's just gonna be hard to cut through Cho'Gath. I really think that Piltover's finest best shot is gonna be for Ziggs to really shred the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I mean, again, drag spawning here. I mean, they have prio mid, but I mean, I think that they'll try and contest this for sure. I mean, Slither is super strong in this fight.
Yeah, definitely going to see a dragon fight here. The Rakan getting the big engage onto Griffin, not really doing anything. Rare Candy in the backline. They're going to try to drive onto Griffin, try to do damage, but Karino is dropping a lot of damage there on the backline, and the Kaisa gets shut down. The backline for PFG does get shut down. Karino is doing all he can to survive. Will he survive here? He manages to flash out. Sluter is here, but he doesn't manage to save Karino. Karino's flashes for nothing. And they're going to wait here in the bush. I think they're going to try to take down the Volibear. Oh, wow. This Volibear is actually really, really strong, doing a lot of damage. Takes down Candy, too. And all of a sudden, it's kind of looking pretty dire for the side of Gamma. But Sluter's still full health. And I don't think that he's going to try to... Oh, my God. He still manages to take him down. I didn't think he was low enough to kill, but it looks like Sluter's going to take down another one. And Sluter is just running away with the game all over again.
Oh, my goodness, that Sluter is him, bro. He kind of just 1v, he kind of just deleted the back line and then deleted the front line.
Yeah.
Karina trying to hang on for dear life. He said, "Team, please, bro. I got a bear on me." But they said, "Hold on, bro. We'll come back
and
soon."
while we weren't watching, it seems like Basting managed to burn Jace's flash. So I think maybe we can see a kill angle from Basting sometime soon. We'll see how he approaches the game.
Yeah, I mean that drag fight, it looked super unfortunate for Karina because the Wukong and Akali opted to just dive because Wukong had a 3-man ult, but they were split from Karina. So I mean he kind of got a little bit messed up in the bot lane, but I mean Sluder's obviously going to be able to clean that up. I mean him and Wukong alone just have too much gap close for anyone to escape there.
Yeah,
So
I think I think that Wukong and Akali diving is not necessarily the worst idea as a game plan, but I do think they need to keep in mind that's probably what you want to do when Basting is there to protect Carino. Because obviously, the Cho'Gath isn't going to be diving to a backline anytime soon. So they do have to be a little more mindful to make sure that they're, protecting Carino and, threatening the backline at the same time.
yeah.
Instead of getting the engagement, Griffin is getting engaged on, but the big combo dropping onto the side of Gamma. Candy buying a lot of space, and he does manage to take down Kai'Sa. He's gonna go down, but now Ziggs is next. Ziggs is gonna go down, and Carino is dropping those chakrams like there's no tomorrow. He looked like a Beyblade there a little bit, but Sluder is just too powerful, and he's going to win the fight for them pretty much.
Yeah, Karina having the red and white.
Sluder maybe was a little greedy with how he decided to approach that shuriken, but he's not going to get any trouble. They're going to be forced to back off. Cho'Gath is not in a position to TP. It looks like he just wasted his TP in the top lane, and they're still going to go for the dragon, but it doesn't look like Gamma is ready to let this go. Sluder is a threat. He does drop a shuriken, but he's not going to be able to dash in because he doesn't hit anybody, and it's going to go over to the side of Piltover's finest, and I think Gamma's just going to have to walk away. I think they could have engaged there and won that fight, but they hesitated a little too long. And, we saw what happened. This Rakan has been pretty good about, interrupting dives. So maybe that was the reason.
I think that Sluder, I think he had a huge base. I mean, he had a lot of tools there to engage and probably just like solo carry it. But I mean, he is worth 800 gold right now, and he did have a huge base. And if he does fail like the 1v3, he will be getting a lot of flame from his teammates there for the eco play. So I mean, I think it's safe for him. It's whatever.
Yeah, 100%. Probably showing a little bit of tempering himself. Basting getting jumped on, but he's so tanky, and now it might be the fact that this Volibear's in trouble. The big ult coming out, and Sluder comes out to finish off the kill, finish off Basting's leftovers, what he couldn't finish eating. And while the Rakan tries to save his Jace, he might end up being the victim. Rare Candy might actually be the victim here. He's gonna get chased down by the Ziggs, and he's low. He gets shielded. Sluder is in a bit of an awkward position. Rare Candy is barely alive, and no, he didn't get hit by the Ziggs, lucky for him, so no burn there. And Carino is more than happy to just hit the tower, not really too worried about what his team's going through.
Yeah, Carino just said, "All right, I had enough of you guys leaving me alone in fights. I'm just gonna take this tower instead." And I mean, Gamma coming out on top there. They do get the top tower, I think, in exchange for this bot tower. They swapped up top lane after getting the bot lane tower. So, there's more gold going into the Carino bank, and soon he'll have his mythic after BT, it seems.
Yeah, and
But,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I saw at the remnants of that top lane fight, I saw Sluder hit the fadeaway E, and I thought he was gonna take that 1v3, but he did not. I was excited for that. It is unfortunate.
And Griffin coming with the flank on the Lulu. Griffin biting a little more than he can chew, maybe forgetting that he's Lulu and not Leona.
Yeah.
Griffin trying his hardest to cosplay, though. He said, I can flank too, but
yeah, not really working out for him. This game, it's a little closer than the last one so far. I think it really just takes one good fight from either side to really start running away with it. But I do think Gamma is in a much better position to start kind of running over the team.
yeah, I mean, the gold may seem a little close, but if I'm in any game and I see a Sit 0 Akali, I'm definitely favoring that team, especially when the team that Akali is against has no real frontline or tank to stop her. I feel like it's kind of just her game to go crazy.
Yeah. I think it's also like the fact that Rakan and Volibear are like, I mean, a lot of their CC tools are also like, they kind of get like baited to go forward a lot of the time. Like Rakan's not going to press R without like trying to go for the huge play, right? And Volibear is kind of just like a press W key. So realistically, they're going to try and engage. And if they don't track the Akali flank, then he's just going to prey on their backline for free.
That's also something that I'm worried about, you know. What is this Kaisa Ziggs going to do when there's an Akali? Because Kaisa can always ulti out or invis around, but I feel like the Zig's just gonna have to stay there and say, you know, just sit there and say, I guess I'm dead. And hopefully my team carries the team fight. But, I mean, as of right now, it seems the game has slowed down. It's not many kills happening. I guess the next big team fight is probably going to be when Dragon comes up. Which, I don't have the timer on, but...
Yeah. Dregs, what? I think the minute mark just came up on the drag pits. I think it's in a minute.
Yeah, it's in a minute, yeah. So, it'll be coming up pretty soon.
Game pretty slow. I need to put the timer on my briefing and streaming, but now they can see the next objective. Dragon coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Carino should have enough gold for Mythic off of this wave, but I don't think he'll be able to base in time for it. Or maybe it will. It seems everybody's just taking a really late base on the Dragon timer right now. And Gamma does have control for now, but the rest of PFG will be coming back a little bit faster than Gamma's bot lane.
Yeah. I think the main thing is that I think that Gamma definitely want to turn. They don't want to eat a lot of Ziggs poke, and they also don't want to just eat this Ziggs car. So I hope they just get a pick on Slur. That is huge.
Huge pick on Sluter ahead of the Dragon. He was looking for the flank, but they're going to get Afro Zonite in return. They're not going to let him get over free. And Karina's going to come in for the kill. Karino flashes over to make sure that his mid laner does not go unavenged. But Basting is here. Basting is a tank. Basting is a monster. And they're just walking away because they don't do any damage to the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath trying to zone, doesn't really land anything just yet. But still, just the threat of having that giant Cho'Gath right there is more than enough to keep them down. And the side of Piltover's Finest did burn the Rakan ult, which is a big part of why he's menace. The Rift Herald's coming out in the mid lane to apply pressure to make sure that the side of Piltover's Finest cannot just battle around. But looks like they're trying to dive onto Carino. Carino is getting engaged on Carino, does go down. Hurricane is in the back line. Basting needs to turn around and help his teammates. And it looks like the Kaisa dives a little too deep and she will go down. Afro Zonite is knocked up and he is engaged on by Candy, but Candy's not going to be able to keep up. Candy will have to back off. Candy gets the Ziggs gets knocked up one more time. Basting is in trouble. Gets forced to flash out. Does go down, but Sluter is here. Sluter is here. Sluter, the hero, is here to clean up the fight. And Afro Zonite fails. He's knocked up and he's going to go down. Red Candy is still barely alive, and a bit of a messy Yesta fight for both sides.
Yeah. I mean, I think Sluter picked the wrong avenue there. I mean, I think Ziggs was free and obviously on the right hand side, but I think he definitely could have just killed both of those players. They were literally lined up 1 HP, so I'm a bit disappointed with that, but I mean, they're gonna pick up the dragon anyways.
Yeah, maybe.
Looks like the Jace is still here trying to get something out of it. The knockup goes down. Rare Candy is still here. Fluter is in trouble, but they turn on the Volibear. Volibear is still alive. Rare Candy, will he go down? Rare Candy is going to go down. No, he's not down just yet. Rare Candy managed to live really long, but he just still manages to go down. Basting is here full health, and there's nothing that the side of Piltover's Finest can do to stop him. He's just way too beefy. You look at that no damage that he takes. Carino and Basting here full health. Sluter and Griffin a little bit on the lower side, but they're not really in any danger. The gold is a lot closer than I'd imagine Gamma would want it to be at this point, but it looks like neither side is intent on giving up this dragon.
Yeah, and Cho'Gath does have an ulti with, they don't have Smite, but they do have Cho'Gath ult, so it seems Volibear's not going to risk it because he knows that dragon is gone.
Yeah. The initial pick on Sluter was super huge in the tri-bush. Like, it was super good play from them, but the problem is they had to burn a lot of tools to lock the Akali down with the Rakanner, so, like, they're kind of just in a really rough spot where they have to just invest so much resources to kill Sluter, but, I mean, they just have nothing left in the tank when Basting comes in and they just can't touch him. Ziggs does not have enough items to do any damage to this guy.
Yeah, I think I think the Kaisa is getting to a point where she does do damage to him. She does have 2 items. She does have Evolve and Q Evolve. So she will be able to do damage sooner or later. But I had to agree with you when you said that they had to blow a lot to get rid of Sluter, and that was just 1v5 Sluter getting out of position. So in an actual team fight where he's got a flank or he's got a good angle and the Rakan can't get as on top of him as easily, I feel like it'll be a lot harder for PFG to play out the team fight. Whereas Gamma will probably have a lot more time, a lot more freedom, and it'll be harder to get onto Carino like they got to in the last fight.
Yeah.
Griffin doing a little bit of tanking on that tower there.
Yeah, he really wanted that tier 1. I have to say, Rare Candy was also pretty huge in that last team fight. I haven't said much about him in in this game so far, but he got a pretty huge ult and kind of managed to live for quite a long time. And I feel like that was a pretty important part of why they were able to stall the fight out until
we're getting engaged onto the Jace. The Jace is going to get knocked up. He is staying up in the sky, and Rare Candy does take him down. Look at that damage from the Cho. Just one auto attack, almost a quarter of Jace's health with the Heart Steel. And it looks like they're going to try to turn on to Rare Candy. Rare Candy could be in a little bit of trouble here. Does kind of leave Basting here, but Basting more than tanky enough, taking a while to take down, and he does go down eventually, kind of showing that the Kaisa is starting to drop some creeps, but I think Basting is more than happy to die for his team if necessary.
Yeah, Kaisa kind of getting to that point where she can just melt through everybody. She's not exactly Vayne, but I feel like she's gonna have an easier time the later this game goes on, and when she gets that quick blades, she'll have her Q up very often, so she'll be able to burst down anybody that they catch out. And Sluter going in for another solo kill looks like, oh, he thinks better of it.
Yeah, and just get away there. But Carino might be in a little bit of trouble here. Might have to ghost, has to flash, has to do both. And it looks like the Volibear has committed just a little too hard. Sure, he's ulted, but I don't think he's going to get away here. He gets ulted and so much damage drops, but it's actually just beefy enough to survive. Rare Candy is running a little low, is forced to back off, but Sluter is here on the back, and he does have a flank angle, but it doesn't look like anything else is going to happen. The flash comes out of the Kaisa, and the Gamma is still looking for this fight. Carino taking a lot of damage, is forced to back away because
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed in Sluter because, like, he did go for that, like, really kind of psychotic play on the Ziggs when he has full summons, and then he had no tools to, like, actually kill any of them in that fight. So, I mean, he did definitely get punished for that greedy play on Ziggs.
Yeah, Sluter dropping some damage onto the Ziggs is going to walk away. The next dragon is up in 1 minute, and I'm wondering if we're about to watch another 2-minute fight go on for the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Jace still doesn't have his Manamune finish, so he's still not putting out as much DPS as he would like to be. I feel like this Cho'Gath and Sluter and Aphelios are right now in a very strong position to kind of just take over the game, the team fights. So I'll be curious to see. They probably would want to fight this drag. It is the sole point. They probably just don't want to give it away for free. Kaisa is strong on the side of PSG, despite her not having her Navori quick blades yet. But I think the main focus is just gotta be, can Aphelios stay alive, and can Sluter just one-shot the backline like he has been?
Yeah, I was gonna comment on the Chase Manamune because, like, when he bought tier, I kind of lost my thought because I was just not talking for a while. But I'm pretty sure he bought this tier at like 15 minutes or so, which I think is pretty grief. But I don't know.
Yeah. This fight will probably be pretty important, but the timers for the respawn are a lot longer. And Griffin taking a lot of damage before the fight starts, with Basting starting to feel the pain from the burn of the Ziggs, trying his best to heal, but it looks like the engage is going to go on to Hurricane. Hurricane does dive into the backside, and Sluter has the big gank. They're going to jump onto Afrozonite, but the Rakan goes down, and it's just a horrible fight for PF. And it's just, they can't do anything. They get engaged on way too fast. Sluter does go down, but dropping a lot of damage, and they're going to you know, Gamba's gonna come out ahead 1-for-4. I'm a little surprised that Sluter died. I thought that Sluter would live that, but at the end of the day, it looks like Ziggs got away with it, and they're leaving Basting to solo the dragon. He doesn't
Yeah,
have
he got.
ult, which is a little interesting to leave him there, but you know, I guess the Baron is worth it. I don't know if they'll be
You
able to
gotta-
do it with the Ziggs poke though.
Yeah, he got exhausted. So he got exhausted, and then he got pelted by the Kaisa W, and then he was just getting hit through a shroud, and he was exhausted. So he had to pull the trigger late on the R after they all fled. So he had to go pretty deep, and he did get picked for it. I like the timing on Rare Candy and Slitter though. Slitter played a lot more patiently in the jungle and just waited for Rare Candy to go, and didn't get picked instantly in the tri-bush like last time.
Yeah, they might finish this Baron before Basting gets done with the dragon.
Basting might have been waiting for his ult to come back up. It is back up, and he, you know, I'm going to be surprised if he's just kind of just sitting on it, waiting to be able
No,
to ult it.
I'm pretty sure he was autoing this whole time, but he just does no damage, man.
Yeah, maybe this is I think why you built Sunfire and not Demonic. Demonic's not bad, but you know, resistances are nice, and he's pure health, which you know would explain why the Ziggs was just kind of shredding through his HP.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, same with Kaisa. I feel like if you don't have a lot of resistances, even if you have like 6k HP, it's kind of easy for a lot of ADCs to kind of just melt through that HP bar really quickly. And Kaisa is definitely one of those champions that can, you know, delete the super tanks a lot faster than you would expect. But Karina once again going for the Giant Slayer, and he is on 3 items.
Yeah, it
And
looks
you
like
know,
maybe we're gonna get a fight over this these birds. Rare Candy going in, and he gets a 3-man, 4-man knockup, and Bates is gonna go in. Oh my God, Rare Candy does get blown up, but the poor Volley Bear goes solo into the back line, and it's gonna be a 1-for-1 so far. 1-for-2, 1-for-3. Are we gonna see it? No. Kaisa manages to get away. A bit of a risky ult there to get the shield, but it doesn't cost her life, so it paid off.
yeah, Rare Candy did kind of get blown up, but well, everybody else that really matters or really has the DPS is still alive. You know, Karina just one-shotting everybody else who came in this way, and yeah.
I think they're. I mean, Rare Candy definitely just like kind of tunnel vision there. I don't think he accounted for Sluter. He was not in a position to follow up on that. I mean, Karina did do a good job, but I mean, they didn't have like a lot of their golden Sluter to follow up for that. So I think that's why he got picked up. But it ended up working out anyways for them.
Basing was also pushing top lane at the time, so once he TP'd in, but you know it was after Rare Candy had died, so a little bit of impatience, but you know I feel like they have such a lead that it doesn't really matter, and they do come out with 2 towers in the end, using that Baron buff anyway.
Yeah, and it's just been you know, big performance after big performance. Luter's just being huge, but Basting not taking any damage, just kind of going around with him. But Basting might have bitten off more than he can chew. Basting is a beast, but Basting, you are not that strong. Oh my God, and he takes a 1-for-1 before he goes down. That is the power of Cho'Gath in this meta.
Yeah, as you can see, you know, he's like the Ornn, you know, he just one-shot the poor Rakan before he had a chance to do anything. And then he said, alright, you know, you guys took me down, but I'm not going down alone.
Yeah. It feels just like super impossible, even despite like if the gold is even here, like even at this stage of the game, if everyone's even, they like Red has no tools to like match in sideline anyways. Like I don't think you can deal with Cho'Gath, and Ziggs has to catch farm under turrets, so they just have like actually all the tools to just steamroll this game. Like they have no agency to really play the game at this point.
Yeah, that is for sure. Jace has hit 3 items, so his poke should be doing some damage. But I feel like the shields coming out from Lulu kind of just negating a whole lot of it. And once they get this Mountain Soul, it'll just make it that much harder for the Jace to play the game.
Yeah, Mountain Soul is not going to be fun to that Cho'Gath, or really into any of them. Just having a good amount of your damage blocked off even once as Jace is just going to make it pretty hard for you to be useful. But I guess on the other hand, you have Ziggs constantly poking. I'm not too sure a little shield is going to offer all that much reprieve. Oh, Sluter here on the flank going in on Jace. Jace could be in trouble here. Doesn't land anything, but he gets the flash out, and he does flash and ignite, but doesn't manage to get away. Takes it down. for Jace, this is something that you guys mentioned earlier, that, where is Jace supposed to side lane? He was facing the Cho'Gath there. Obviously, the Cho'Gath wasn't threatening him directly, but Akali does, what is he ever going to do against the Akali?
Yeah. I think there's
Yeah,
that, plus the fact that, like, realistically, I mean, again, a lot of the backline for red team's just, like, homeless, because, I mean, again, like I said at the start of the game, like, a lot of their tools are just, like, go forward, right? And, I mean, if Kai'Sa doesn't get, like, a good ulti angle, then both their backliners are just really homeless in this game.
And it looks like we're getting the engage here on Swag 2028. The ult does come out from Air Candy. He's going to knock him up. Is he going to force the ult out of the volley bear? No, the volley bear is just going to walk away. Cho'Gath using a big flank, and he's going to be able to eat that. He manages to drop a lot of damage, but he doesn't bother ulting. And if he gets a knockup, he's going to go down. He does have the flash. If I'm basing, I'm flashing here for him. And yeah, you're flashing there for him, making the poor Kai'Sa remember that she's just an ADC living in a top lane world. But ADCs are still the strongest role in the game. Don't cope.
yeah, I think ADCs need a little bit of buff there, but yeah, I think PFG trying to run away, and they just ran into a giant monster sitting in a bush. So unfortunate for them, they kind of just lose 2 inhib for it, their ADC, and a lot more.
Yeah, and it also explains why they were so committed to that chase. I thought, why are you chasing this volley bear so hard? And it's because Basting had a good angle to cut them off no matter what. They weren't chasing him, more so funneling him to the slaughter machine, which is Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
Yep. And he played the part perfectly. He just sat in a bush, and I feel like that's just a jump scare in a movie, You're just not expecting.
Little tiny bush has a giant 40-foot monster in it. Yeah, it would definitely get me.
I was gonna comment on that. I was gonna say, what are the heart rate of the Piltover players getting jump scared in that bush? That shit must have been horrifying.
Yeah, imagine you're like, we gotta wait for this dumb Wukong. Why is he committing so hard? And then you see a giant roaster and the dragonish roar from the Cho'Gath, and then you die. This poor Kai'Sa, does she get away here?
There's no.
He doesn't do anything to him. And he gets knocked up, and he's gonna go down.
Oh my god.
You can't exhaust true damage. I'm so sorry, Kai'Sa. I am so sorry. Looter is here. He's gonna try to take down the Jace. He is in a bit of trouble. He is against 3 members, but he doesn't care. He goes in deeper, and he's gonna try to get the kill. But is he in trouble? He is in trouble. He does go down. Tries to get a little too fancy, having a little too much fun. But when you're that ahead, who's gonna tell you no?
Yeah, I mean, Sluter just trying to make a montage play. He said, I'm having my fun time, and Basting gets to go eat Kai'Sa. Let me try to eat the others.
Yeah. Sluter has not been doing the greatest in these past few fights, but it's okay. I mean, Basting making this entertaining for us. I mean, this champ is just really funny to watch. I'm having a blast.
Oh yeah, Sluter has definitely been having fun. He's still obviously playing out of his mind. He's been extremely oppressive both games, but I think he's showing a little tendency to have a little too much fun. Which again, it's not a big deal. It's the opening week for VRS. They're showing out. They're reminding everyone that this is a returning champion team. They didn't win last split, but they are definitely a team with a legacy. Champions of CCS, champions of VRS. This is a name that people should expect this type of dominant performance from.
Yeah, that is for sure, and they're showing here why they're the champions of these leagues, because they have the skill on this team, and they have just the raw talent coming out from every single role.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, we might be seeing the end of the game. This game, I will say, probably has lasted a bit longer than Gamma would have liked. I'm sure if they, are committed to having fun, that it's okay. But I think if they wanted a clean game and they were expecting a clean game out of themselves, it's probably not it. But Sluter is getting engaged on while Volleybear's poor backline getting absolutely obliterated. But Volleybear shows he's no tankier than a Kai'Sa as he gets shredded, and that poor Makai just disappears, gets absolutely eaten at like 80% health. And this Basting is just he's just a behemoth. Basting, putting up a huge performance weak side, and still being, incredibly useful outside of lanes. Gamma's looking like, all of the time they've taken the. Oh my God,
What?
800.
Oh my god! I was gonna, yeah, I don't know. I'm just pretty disappointed with Piltover's draft. Like, I mean, I think they were obviously like gapped in terms of skill, but like, I mean, their drafting they opted for. I mean, I guess they're assigned inside game one, but I mean, their R5 picks were pretty dreadful this game, so pretty disappointed by that.
Yeah, I think in the end it did come down to just gameplay. Like there were a couple of times where it looked like they had a chance. A couple of fights, a couple of ganks that went off, but unfortunately, Gamma just showing, doing what they do best, just coming out, smashing heads, eating some ADCs, and taking it home.
Yeah, I mean, it was just night and day difference between the teams. PFG was they have you could see some positives. I think that they can do well in the league and vie for being a playoff contention team. But I think this is kind of the performances that you expect from you know uh, teams that are kind of aiming to be champions in Gamma versus teams that are they're maybe strong, that have a solid foundation, but perhaps don't have the same experience and power that a team like Gamma might have. They put up a good fight, and it was a good game. I enjoyed it. They can say they made the second game go to 37. How much of that was up to Gamma deciding to have a little fun. We'll let everyone else decide. I do think that they put up a good fight and made the game hard for Gamma, but not hard, but a little harder than they needed to be. But ultimately, I don't think that Gamma was ever not on the driver's wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, I think
Yeah.
if I don't know if you guys have any last thoughts before we close out the stream.
No, just thanks for having me on as always, and can't wait to see more Dorado teams take another easy dub soon.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on here, and thanks for taking the time. Thank you, Husky and Cody's, for joining us today. But that's it for tonight. Appreciate you guys, and make sure that you guys go watch Epsilon. They should be 2-1 right now. Let me actually check in. They're about to end their second game. Pretty dominant. I will raid Tufts stream, I guess, or Corey. I'll raid Tough. I have Tufts immediately here. So make sure you guys go support them and go support Dorado Gaming XI. I still don't know how to fucking pronounce that name. They are on Victorious' stream, and I think they're 1-0. They're about to win their first series as well. And we'll see you all. I don't know. Whenever I feel like streaming again, might be Saturday. See you guys.
Bye, guys.